So we're back in throwback rotation. This time we are in September's throwback rotation, which is going to be Steel Rebellion. I didn't play the game at the time, so I am pretty new to this. Of course, as usual, as is standard practice for the first deck of the day, for the first deck of the expansion, we'll be playing Sword. Apparently this was the top deck at the time, or at least one of the top decks. This Midrange Sword deck. The card power at this point in time was apparently much lower than whatever we've been playing in for the past month for Asvault, so when you're coming into this one, I guess you gotta prepare for that. This is the deck we'll be playing today. I just yoinked the list from the tournament winning decks and then adjusted it a bit to fit my personal preference, and that's what we'll be playing. It's not gonna be too informative, I guess, since I don't really know what I'm doing that much either, but I'll try to do my best to explain what I'm thinking and maybe give you some idea of how to play the deck if you are a fellow newbie to this expansion like me. So with that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into the games. So for the first match for today, right away we're starting off with a mirror match and we are going second. For the mirror match, I think going first is generally heavily favored, so there's that. For the mulligan, I like to look for the game's cards that are fine to play early game. The Cannoneer as well as the Rapier Master, especially I grade early on because of their flexibility and being able to find turns to play them. So those are nice. Go ahead and just chip some damage with a Quick Blader here. There is consideration for holding Quick Blader for Alicia, which we are guaranteed to draw with Aether anyway, but I think being able to chip a little bit of damage is probably a bit helpful. It also will help us contest the board a bit more for their turn 2 play by playing the Quick Blader. In this case, they just traded their own Quick Blader though, so that was fine. Opponent drops the Vials here, which they probably picked up the Fatal Spell Bomb, which is just one play point spell to destroy an enemy for 3 or less defense. So we can expect this Aether to get destroyed by the Spell Bomb. But I think it's fine to play the Aether here just to draw into our deck. It's a nice 3 PP play, it makes use of our PP anyway. We could play a Usurping Spine Blade to clear this instead, but I think that's fine. We can hold on to the Usurping Spell Blade for a little bit. So this time we can go ahead and use the Spell Blade to clear the Vials here. And then as usual, Leod, well maybe not as usual, but Leod's ambush seems to be very strong in this expansion, so we make good use of that. Go ahead and use Build Reckoning to get rid of the Imera here so we can deny them the resources. And then I just go ahead and poke them in the face and hide the Leod here. There is consideration for just holding onto the Assassin and not attacking Leod here, but I think it's fine to just chip the damage here. We want to get some value out of the Leod in case they have something like the Ivory Sword Dance anyway. And this is the Ivory Sword Dance from them, so they will clear our Leod, but we managed to make them waste an Evil Point as well as an Ivory Sword Dance, and we protected our face, so I'd say pretty good trade-off for us. So we just go ahead and just go a bit wide here, just get some followers in play with the Celia. This looks dumb if you are used to the modern game, but apparently at this point in time, Celia, just playing Celia for summoning 2 bodies is actually pretty solid. So we go ahead and do that. And this turn, Apostle of Usurpation can very cleanly clear their board here. We can even go face with the effect because we have a knife to clear their board. And then we hold on to the Evil Point. When it comes to playing Sword, being able to play Layton for his full 8-cost body is pretty valuable. Yes, we actually play an 8-cost follower for their main body in this game, and it actually does something. It's pretty insane, but yeah, we're gonna look to play Layton. On the turn you play Layton, it can be a bit weak because he has no rush, so if your opponent has a white board or something, they might just kill you because you can't clear their board, so saving an Evil Point for Layton will help with that problem, so you go ahead and hold on to our Evil Point here. We don't have Evil Point recovery in this deck, so gotta watch out for that. But we don't really have much to do here on this turn. I just go ahead and use the Dragon Knights to summon a Siegfried. They are probably looking to play Latham on their turn for 8 cost and then evolve it and trade into Arcelia. By putting Siegfried on the board, if they play Latham and trade it, they will have to kill their own Latham to Siegfried's Bane, so it works out very well for us. And we go ahead and just buff Celia just to chip more damage. And this Quick Blader as well is just to chip more damage. Go a bit wide, it's unlikely they have the ability to clear it well. And we have enough activators for Licia in hand anyway, so we don't necessarily need to save this Quick Blader for Licia. Opponent plays the Arcus here and then plays the Ivory Sword Dance. Thankfully our Siegfried lives, so we can trade our Siegfried for their Arcus. And then now we have a free reign to just drop our Latham here. So that's good for us. We can probably win soon. So here I just go ahead and hit them with the Licia Celia and just chip some damage to the Knight as well. And there's their Latham, which we expected, but it's completely fine. As you can see, our board is a bit too wide for Latham to handle well. If they had Quick Blader, they might be able to handle it, but I guess they didn't, so go ahead and just trade with the Knight and use the Goblet to heal, but we have a Rapier Master in hand, so with Latham's leader effect to give it Storm, this is just lethal, so let's move on to the next game. So this time we've got a game against Haven, and we are going first. Haven is generally Holy Crystal, I think. Holy Lion Crystal, I don't know what it's called, Lion Haven, I guess it's fine. But apparently Machina also exists, although I haven't seen it yet. But yeah, again for the early game, we just look for early game cards. Aether is great. It's like the only turn 3 play in this deck besides, I guess, Octress, but Aether draws cards, which makes it more valuable. Here we can look to save side by Cannoneer for turn 4. Ivory Sword Dance and Leo are very strong combos, so we want to make use of that. So we can go ahead and play our Aether here, and then we keep the ambush on Leo, so we can try to abuse it, Ivory Sword Dance a bit at a later time. And there's the Holy Lion Crystal for my opponent, and the second one as well. Probably main decked it. I mean, yeah, they have to main deck it in order to draw it there. You can go ahead and trade here. And then there is an option of using Ivory Sword Dance to just clear this Holy Shield Lion, but I think going wide here is probably more annoying for them, so I just go ahead and play the Cannoneer for Enhance 4. There's another Holy Lion Crystal from them. And then go ahead and play the Peace Weaver, sorry, which will go ahead and put out Ward for them, which I guess is fine. And then they'll go ahead and trade, which I think makes sense. And then we have a turn 5 here, we can pull off the classic maneuver here, Leot, Evo, Enhance Ivory Sword Dance. This is a very strong combo because there really is very little ways to clear ambush properly right now, so we can abuse this ambush on Leot and we can give the ambush back later on with Build Reckoning at some point. But there's the Holy Lion of Salvation from them, which they will evolve and play the crystal, and we shall let them play another crystal. It's fine. The board's a bit scary, but we're still at full health, so we don't necessarily need to full clear it. This turn is a bit difficult, I think, but I go ahead and use Leot to clear the big guy, which cause I don't really want to let that live. I do lose 1 hit of 5 damage that could have gone face, which is a bit of a shame, but I think it's fine. We go ahead and use Assassin here to hide the Leot. We hide the Leot instead of the Licia, because if we hide Licia, then we have to spend an evil point to clear 1 lion, which is really not worth it. We go ahead and pass here. We do open ourselves to take some damage here from this evolved, not evolved, but this Holy Plate Lion, but I think it's probably better to save the evil point, so I go ahead and do that. There's a thing you can actually do at this point in time, which is save your evil points at the cost of taking some damage and leaving a follower alive, because you won't instantly die from leaving followers alive anymore. So we can go ahead and use Ivory Sword Dance once again, make the Leot even bigger. Then now we spend the evil point here. We can go ahead, we'll go ahead and apply pressure here, make our board super scary for them. And then we keep the Leot here. Hopefully we can top deck the Latham here, which will be a good play card to play alongside our our big Leon. Someone goes ahead and trade here, which is fine, and put on the Moria and Conian, which will hit my Leon at some point later on. Which is fine. Go ahead and play another Ivory Sword Dance here on my Leon, and then play Aether, which will pick up Latham. And then here I trade because I want them to spend resources trying to get rid of Leon so that I have free room slam down my Latham. My opponent will go ahead and clear my Leah, which is I guess a bit unfortunate, and they summon a lion. We can let the lion live, I think it's fine. We go ahead and okay, no, I guess not. I guess we don't let the lion live, so we play Arcus here. Honestly, playing the Latham might have been fine, I'm not too sure there. I go ahead and just play the Arcus here, and then just accelerate Latham just to try to make their Moria and Konya miss the Arcus for more value for me, which it does miss, which was good, because that was what we were aiming for. We have a second Latham anyway, so it's fine. And then we'll go ahead and trade here, which is fine. Go ahead and slam down our Latham, or not slam down our Latham, sorry. We can go ahead and play the Apostle of Usurpation here, and we'll just have lethal with the Celia Despair's Messenger. Despair Celia is is like a very strong finisher in this deck. It seems underwhelming if you're used to modern day finishers, but I think for this point in time, this is actually a pretty powerful finisher, especially for a lack of healing. Let's move on to the next game. So for our last game for today, we are going first once again against Shadow. I think Arcus Shadow is probably the only Shadow deck I've seen around. There might be others, but I've only ever seen Arcus Shadow. Against Arcus Shadow, we do have a pretty bad matchup because it's pretty hard to stop their methods of killing them, and we can't kill them that fast either, unless we high roll. I'm going for as a good start. The difference between Arcus going first and Arcus going second is pretty big, so hopefully we can abuse this going first advantage right away. My opponent plays Nicola, probably because they have no fear. Nicola's Last Words effect is actually a pretty strong component of Arcus Shadow, so we can go ahead and get rid of it right now with Arcus here, which is great. And then we go ahead and hold on to the ambush. Opponent plays the Friend here, and then they go ahead and play Friend's Attendant, so they do leave the Arcus alive, which is fine. They probably expect us to trade it, which we do, because I mean we kind of don't really want to leave the Friend's Attendant alive. And then we trade it, which gives us Nicola. And then Nicola gets +2 attack because that's how much attack Arcus had. We can go ahead and just play the Nicola as well. There are options to play Celia or Latham here. Honestly, accelerating Latham probably would have been fine, I think, but then goes ahead and clears my Nicola, which will give him 4 attack now. And they play Fairy, so I guess they've decided to just go wide. They do evolve the Nicola here as well. They're going to hit my face. But here we're going to go ahead and play Lisha. This is the hidden value of Lucius here, is that he's an officer as well, so he can be used as the 1 cost to activate Lisha. Then we go ahead and trade here. And we evolve the Liot here instead of one of these side followers to pick up the Veiled Reckoning. I could evolve one of these trade and then next turn evolve Liot, but if I can, I want to preserve the 1 evil point, because I think holding on to the 1 evil point makes them have to play more conservatively. So that's the Cerberus from my opponent, which is fine, I guess. Pretty scary though. It summons a bunch of followers and it gives their followers Last Words to deal 1 damage. Thankfully it misses my most of my followers and hits the Liot here, which is ideal. So go ahead and hit with the Lucius first and then trade. Honestly, there's no difference whether I hit the Lucius first or not, but yeah. Then we go ahead and use the Lisha here, hit with the Liot so that I don't have my Liot dying to the 1 ping, which, there you go. And then we can go ahead and hide Lisha with the Assassin to make good use of the ambush at some point later on. So there's Ceres from my opponent, which is a bit annoying because we don't really want to let them play the Arcus next turn. And then go ahead and trade, which is fine for them, I guess. Unfortunately here we don't really have any good play, so we go ahead and use the Rapier Master to get rid of their Ceres. It does leave them with an open board to play Arcus, so hopefully they don't have it. We go ahead and get rid of the Gamori as well. For what it's worth, if they play Arcus here next turn, we could just play Latham, hit face with Lisha, and then we will get Nano, and Nano will get Storm, which we can use to get rid of the Arcus. Which is a pretty solid play, but thankfully they just didn't have Arcus. Either that or they probably didn't. Either that or they didn't feel safe playing Arcus. Either way, we don't really care. We go ahead and slam Latham here, because we can get away with it. And then here I choose to hit board and clear the board instead. I prioritize making a white board instead of getting the face damage with Lisha, because I just think this will be more annoying for them. Once again, this makes it very basically impossible to play Arcus this turn as well. My opponent goes ahead and plays Gilnalith, which is fine, buffs their followers. But they leave our Latham alive, which is very good for us. Latham's leader effect summons a knight whenever there isn't one, so we go ahead and trade the knight first, because there's no reason not to. And then we hit face with Latham. Once again, we go ahead and trade off, and then we can play a Rapier Master. This Rapier Master serves two roles. One, nice bit of storm damage, but also the fact that he has ward makes it harder to clear the Latham I have hidden here. We don't have to worry about Fairy yet as well, so that's fine. Someone plays Manifest Malice here with another Gilnalith, which they will use to clear my European Master, I guess, which is fine. They also heal a bunch, and then they concede. I mean, they were dead anyway, so yeah, that's it for this game. So those are all the games I have for you today. I'm still not super confident with the gameplay of this deck because it's a new deck, and it's actually a pretty difficult deck if you've tried to play it yourself, but hopefully this video gave you some idea of how to play it. Honestly, this is actually a lot more fun than Asvault was. Maybe it's because it's a new expansion to me, but also I think that having a slower game where you have to think through your plays is a bit more engaging than praying your opponent doesn't have Howling Demon, but that's not really relevant now, I guess. Anyway, I'm very broke on the Aether. I'm very broke on Ethers right now, so I might only be able to showcase like at most one other deck, so probably not gonna be too much deck showcase this expansion, but hopefully I can make up for it with other kinds of videos. But that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. See you next time. Bye bye.